Hello there! I am 17-year-old writer Noah Barfield, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the main antagonist in my action fantasy novel, Legendland. Now before I get started, I feel it's important to note that I can't tell you too much about my main antagonist. Why? Because my main protagonist creates the main antagonist, unwittingly and unknowingly, but it happens. So, telling you even their name or gender would give things away. However, I can tell you a little bit about their personality and what it was like trying to write them. Now, my character, the antagonist, does not... They have both heroic and villainous qualities inside of them, just like my protagonist. So, you may find yourself rooting for this character more than my protagonist, or empathizing with them more. Which would be understandable, because they have been wronged. They want revenge. They actually have quite relatable emotions, and maybe even a circumstance. So, they view themselves above the main protagonist, not having to stoop to such lowly methods. They almost seem to be concerned with attaining perfection. However, they do have similar traits to my main protagonist. As such, whenever I was writing this character, it was initially a little difficult to discern the difference between my protagonist and antagonist, because whenever reading through to edit, they oftentimes seem to be almost the same. However, as I got more comfortable with this character and wrote about them more, they started to develop their own personality, and as their story developed more, they were able to really come through as their own unique, independent character. And then I had to go back through and change things a little. But it's important to note that my protagonist and antagonist do have similar qualities, which is what makes them very much... It's what makes the opposites in them much more profound. Because you can have sheets of darkness, but if you have little light strips in it, it makes the darkness that much more profound. So, even though these characters are mostly opposites, having a few similarities in them will give it'll give the reader a little more insight as just into their characters and why they don't like each other so much, as well as the differences between them. It'll really highlight those different personality traits whenever they see the similar ones. Now, talking about this personality, I'm going to read you a short passage of Legendland from the main antagonist's point of view that will give you just a slight insight into their personality, and also some of the things they had to overcome to become the antagonist that they are now today. So, I've never really narrated before, but let's give this a shot. I hope I don't sound like just a really bad voice actor. Cold sweat appears on my burning skin, and I curl up tighter, gagging and feeling like I could retch. Icy spikes of pain drill themselves in my bones as hot light courses through my veins. I'm searing and freezing inside. I clutch at the grass, scrunching my eyes closed and curling my knees up closer, trying to will it all away. Well, this certainly is an interesting predicament you find yourself in. That raspy voice, I know it. For a moment my mind focuses on that voice, desperately trying to reach back, but then a new wave of pain hits, banishing all attempts at recollection from my brain. You don't remember me? I'm a little offended, I must admit, but we didn't know each other for very long. I am Moodle Van Autumn. You need not introduce yourself. I've been rooting around in your mind for hours now. I know who you are. I bite my tongue so hard I feel like I'm going to bite it off as the mist spreads itself through my body, pressing at my organs and bones, straining against my skin. Looks like you could use some help here. Are you offering? I spit out between clenched teeth, writhing and groaning as several flashes of heat burst through me like my blood is boiling. I clamp on my bottom lip to keep from screaming and alerting whatever is in the forest to my presence. I am offering, but I'm equally content to just wait this out. Very powerful forces are battling for control of your body right now, but I always found power struggles to be a spectator sport. At least until both sides are tired and weak. Then I play a very active role. So are you just going to wait this out? I gasp, heat flushing up my neck as my fingers begin to turn blue, numb from the cold in my hands. That depends on how I feel. Right now, I'm feeling a bit tired. I think I'll just wait until one or the other wins, then take my prize. I groan as a new wave of pain hits, but instead of shying away, this time I lean into the pain. I dive into it and search inside. My body is behind me, in some other place where there is grass and clothes and pain. And here, there is nothing like that. I sift through the green mist, the bright white light, and I delve deeper. I find a black figure the size of a small child curled away, hiding in a dark corner. When the figure senses me, its bright red grin drops into a frown. I wrap both hands around its neck. Its small black fingers clutch at my fingers, but it can do nothing, though it continues to try and pry my hands off. I return to my body with a gasp, my fingers curled in the grass, trying to rip up chunks of earth. Waves of pain wash over me faster than before, tremors racking my body, but I don't fight it. Don't fight it or it hurts worse. Instead, I keep a tight grip on that dark figure inside of me, fingers digging in, my fingers dig into the dirt, my arms unwittingly clench, pulling me across the ground closer to the rubble. What do you think you're doing? If I go, you go with me. Bam. Anyway, that's a little insight to my antagonist. As you can see, they have some determination, and they have to overcome some things that are just not quite the easiest. Also, mood of an autumn. So, there is that. I might go into detail into that later, or I might just let you wait until you read the book. Anyway, I hope this has given you a sort of idea of the writing style of Legendland as a sort of sneak peek, but not too sneaky, as well as an insight into the main antagonist and the world that they are in. So thank you, and stay tuned for more updates. Enjoy.